Welcome, members. Today, with our topic is robotic process automation, market evolution, and market trends. I'm going to walk you through the various emerging market trends and robotic process automation. So, if you see my first slide on how RPA has evolved so far, there are the four phases which are very clearly marked towards the evolution journey of the RPA. These are RPA 1.0, which is assisted version of the RPA. It's the basic piece of software for improving productivity, comprising of parcel automation deployed at the desktop level. Then you have the RPA 2.0 as an unassisted end-to-end automation, manual control and management, managing the screens, systems deployed on the server. So these are these RPAs or the server deployed RPA. And then from RPA 2.0, the things are maturing towards RPA 3.0, which are autonomous agents having end-to-end automation capability. It works like a virtual workplace and having the capability to process unstructured data and deploy it in cloud and SaaS. That's one of the typical distinctions from the earlier version of the RPA. The RPA 3.0 having a lot of capabilities to recognize and deploy the unstructured data. And so it moving from towards the intelligence. These virtual agents are actually unassisted. They work on their own autonomous way. And now from 3.0, the industry maturity is going towards RPA 4.0, which is the cognitive-based intelligence agents. These are like having the capability of end-to-end automation plus cognitive intelligence, or it's equal to providing the virtual workforce. Unstructured data with judgmental tasks. So you can see that once the RPA 4.0 is getting implemented in industry, a lot of judgmental tasks can be done by your chatbots, your bots, your virtual agents, the other pieces of RPA software. So a lot of cognitive capabilities are going to build inside RPA 4.0. So the thing is, industry transitioning from RPA 2.0 to RPA 3.0, and then it is going to go towards RPA 4.0, which is still in the nascent stage. Transition to RPA 3.0 and then further to RPA 4.0 requires deep verticalization. That's the one prediction we have here, that if you want to go into RPA 4.0, you have to deeply verticalize your offerings and propositions. Rule-based robotics process automation held a larger market share versus knowledge-based operations in 2016. So we still understand that RPA 2.0, which is actually a rule-based agents, boards, are higher in numbers because this industry is still nascent in RPA 3.0 and RPA 4.0. So if you see the next slide, what are the prediction for us? The prediction for 2017 plus and year on March. So here are prediction for the robotics. By 2020, RPA is projected to become a 5 billion market globally at a CAGR of 60%. And North America is the biggest market for RPA, having around 55% of market share, followed by the EMEA, that is Europe, Middle East, and Africa. RPA is moving from pilot to mainstream. So what are our GTM guidance? Though most of the markets are in North America, however, APAC being BPO hub of America, it's witnessing high growth for RP adoption. So keep APAC also in your marketing strategy. A lot of BPOs are going to deploy this virtual assistants and board elements in delivering the output and outcome, because a lot of repetitive tasks are performed in the typical BPO operation, which can be automated or which can be robotized through the boards or through the virtual agents. So wherever the BPO footprints, BPO operational footprints are higher, there is a larger scope of deployment of the RPA-based software agents. So that's why we have observed the highest growth rate of the market in the Asia Pacific region, though North America remains one of the largest market for the RPA softwares and services. By 2025, around 40 to 50% of BPA software sales will be done for RPA. So what does it imply? That plain vanilla version of BPA is going to shrink as far as the market shares are concerned. So the RPA, BPA along with the RPA is going to be the next future and next implementation. And in that, the RPA share is going to be around 40 to 55%, 40 to 50%. That means the the BPA market share is getting engaged or getting occupied by RPA. So large disruption for traditional process automation with manual data entry by BPM plus RPA model, that is market for end-to-end automation. So in going forward, you won't find frequent data entry terminals inside your processes, various processes. So earlier, what was happening that industry and enterprises were automating their business processes, but still there was a scope of manual rework or work wherever the data interface was there, or wherever the decisioning need to be done. So going forward with the BPM plus RPA model, even those data entry points, manual data entry points, to be get eliminated. So our GTM guidance here for the production solution developers in the RPA space is that production services providers in BPM can start offering a BPA plus RPA kind of solution proposition. It has been observed that 58% of the existing BPA vendors retained by clients for RPA. So that means if you are into BPM space, this is for you a very obvious opportunity to come and offer the solution to your clients in RPA space also. It's likely that your acceptance will be higher if you are entering into RPA space with your existing clients. The future of RPA tech market growth is in high level of intelligence in bots and agents. So what we are saying, the intelligence level of bots and agents, virtual agents, are going to be high and higher and higher. So that means if you are developing your RPA software solutions and going forward, you have to focus on more and more intelligently automated bots or virtual agents. For enterprises to push automation intelligence to every corner of processes, mega intelligent bots are disrupting legacy apps. That is, and a lot of the boards clusters or boards forms are getting evolved. So productize your RPA offering through cluster of applied intelligent boards. Brand your boards to fetch higher revenue license and services. So this is another guidance which we are giving here, is that you have to do branding for your boards. So if you can brand the cluster of boards, you can brand your individual boards, you can brand the services offerings also. The next prediction is deep verticalization capabilities are going to be a major component for competitiveness to RPA offering. So next wave of RPA adoption is going to be around domain knowledge. Boards are in great demand in BFSI, manufacturing, retail, health. So a lot of vertical related capability, vertical industry related intelligence need to build up to replace existing manual decision making or manual data entry points. So for that, the guidance is customize your board portfolio for catering to vertical specific demands like credit rating, fraud detection, invoice preparation, claim processing, etc. The next prediction is rapidly evolving pricing model. By 2025, around 70% of RPA contracts shall be outcome-based pricing. So the entire pricing model is moving from fixed pricing to outcome-based pricing. Moving from license-based pricing to virtual resource agents-based pricing to boards users-based pricing to task completion-based pricing. So going forward, still some of the service providers or solution providers are using resource or deployed virtual agent-based pricing model in RPA space, but going forward, it is going to be outcome based. When I say outcome, it will monitor that whether the task assigned or the problem assigned to the boards or virtual agents have been completed or not. So even the pricing model is going to be beyond utilization model. So earlier, like if bots are used, then that it will trigger the charges. But in the next generation of the pricing models, if bots are used, and even if it has not performed the task, then no pricing trigger shall be shall be accounted for the customers. So the pricing will be only done, or the billing or the charging will be only done to your customers once the designated board has performed a task for which it was installed over there. So the guidance here is adopt an outcome-based pricing structure which is most suitable for your customers' user needs. Deployment of RPA software in SMBs is expected to increase at an alarming rate of 40% plus market share. So SMBs are chunk of the business. So SMBs deploying RPA software for cost saving and to strengthen their innovation program to accelerate new services and product offering. Target SMB customers account with most agile and rapid value delivery RPA solution, develop SMB specific multifunction boards and virtual agents. So you have to segregate your boards and virtual agents offering, especially for the SMBs, the region, because their functional depths are not like the big corporations, so they may not like to deploy the board form or a big cluster for the boards or virtual agents for performing a particular task. They may like to address their multiple tasks in a group of boards or on one boards or virtual agents. So you have to have the little differentiation in your boards offering strategy as far as the SMB accounts or customers are concerned. The next prediction is BFSI sector expected to be the fastest adopter of RPA solution and growing at a CAGR of over 65%. Constant change in technology landscape has caused the banking industry to dive full throttle into the digital age through an adoption of RPA and intelligence and artificial intelligence. There exists a widespread opportunity for RPA adoption in BFSI for transaction monitoring, validation, reconciliation, reporting, compliance, and data integration governance. So when you are designing your RPA solution, what are the main drivers to whom you should align with? So these are some of the drivers your RPA solution should actually align and they should actually deliver on these drivers. These are cost saving, higher ROI, next agility, scalability, and low cost ramp up on demand. So these are like in industry, it's perceived as the inherent characteristics of any RPA solution. So ultimately, your solution should deliver on these requirements. Elimination of rework and error. So while designing your solution, you should actually give some targets to what extent your solution is going to reduce the error in the processes where it has been deployed, and to what extent the reworks shall be reduced or wastage shall be reduced. So those kind of targets should be set up for your RPA offering in order to give the business benefit to your clients. Higher productivity, no downtime. So these are some of the default expectation from any RPA software. So your chart board should be deployed and operated for 24/7, and it should be available across the all time zone, across the all hours, working hours, non-working hours, all days. So the availability of virtual resources should be ensured around the clock. The next expectation, the regulatory and audit compliance, since the software-based agents can actually have the rules to comply with the various regulations. So it will be easy to capture the correct scenario as far as the compliances are concerned. Business intelligence and process analytics. So chart boards are actually deployed in your core processes. So it's going to generate a lot of business intelligence for every decision they are making or every work they are going to do. So these business intelligence and analytics needs to be captured very frequently or regularly. The security, quality, and compliances. These are three key parameters on which your RPA softwares and solutions should deliver. Next, there are some of the snapshots I would like to highlight to you as far as the market trends are concerned. Going forward, the services mode of offering of the RPA is going to evolve, and the larger share for the technology piece will emerge. That is, most of the services that are offered nowadays going to be productized in terms of technology platform or the RPA-based automation. So if you are working in the services mode right now, you should think of aligning with this trend in order to productize your most of the services offering the RPA domain. In spite of that, there are going to be certain services which cannot be automated or which cannot be productized. So just keep those services intact into your portfolio, but you should try converting at least 20-30% of your service portfolio into a product safe, and going forwards by years like 2020 to 2025 or even a bit earlier. So what's happening that the vendors are also hosting the RPA for their client. So the service provider hosted share for the RPA software is higher, it's 66%, and client hosted, the clients are also hosting, but its share is lesser, it's around 34%. How the RPA softwares are segmented. So if you see this slide, there are three main segments of RPA software: is desktop-based softwares, enterprise-grade software, mixed-grade software. So desktop-based software is hosted on desktop, acts as personal virtual assistant. I mark a couple of vendors operating in desktop space. These are OpenSpan, Win Automation. Enterprise-grade, hosted on servers, act as automated FTE agent. These are like virtual agents, which are hosted on the centralized servers, and the vendors which are offering enterprise grade solution are Blueprint, Silaton. Then they're on the mixed grade, can be deployed on desktop as well as on the server, and these are the modulars. So if you want to deploy the desktop, take the desktop module. If you want to deploy the server, take the server module. And the typical vendors are Automation Anywhere, UiPath. These are the key RPA vendors. Automation Anywhere is market leader in the RPA market. I picked up one of the architecture provided by one of the leading vendor for the RPA platform, and you can take these as one of the reference architecture if you are working on development for your RPA solution. So if you see, they have evolved the boards for the specific functions, like for front office, they have the front office board. For the employee related onboarding tasks, they have the employee employee IT boards. For the new businesses, the new businesses boards. And for processing of invoice, they have invoice processing boards. For the service desk also automation, they have the service desk boards. So these all boards are deployed in a farm format. Some of the cluster of the boards or the robotic forms are going to be on premises. Some may be on the cloud hosted by the vendors. So if you see, there the orchestration layer also, there will be monitoring and analytics layer also above these boards or robot form. So in nutshell, the gamut of the entire RPA architecture comprises of robotics application, that is RPA agents, or you can call virtual agents, or you can call boards, followed by the dashboard, where the entire robot monitoring and analytics happens. So it is called robot dashboard. Then you need to have a deployment platform, either on the server in the premises or on the cloud. Then you are deploying the various forms of the robot. Then you have the unit process boards, and then these boards are performing the tasks. So this is the typical combination of any RPA platform. So if I have to summarize, what should be the strategic question for the RPA service providers or solution providers? They should actually deliberate on following a strategic question. These are: what should be my go-to-market strategy for enterprises as well as for SMB? So SMB, in one of the earlier slides, we discussed that the 40% of market share is in SMB. So you should have a strategy, especially for SMB And apart from that, you should have a strategy for the large accounts or the big enterprises. The next question is, what should be my verticalization strategies? As per one more prediction, we actually observe that in going forward in RPA 3.0 and then RPA 4.0, a lot of verticalization and intelligence aspects and cognitive aspects need to be built up. So what are the strategy around those capabilities? How to brand my boards and virtual agents. So if you have the multiple boards for the multiple tasks which you are targeting to position or to deploy in your customer organization, so branding is highly recommended. And then it comes how to brand it. So there the strategy goes, the branding strategy goes for your boards and the virtual agents. The next question is how to build a positive partner ecosystem. So in entire RPA landscape, ecosystem and partnership is very important. So your success and your solution success is actually dependent on how well aligned you are with your various ecosystem partner systems. So you should work on the strategy of the ecosystem partner development. The next point is how to grab market share from existing BPM and RPA vendors. So you understand that the existing BPM vendors are actually building their capability for the RPA offerings, and they are well accepted with the customers. So if they are all in the BPM market, as their acceptance level goes up with the RPA for the RPA solution. So then you should actually grab the market share through that route, and you should have a strategy for that. The next question is, what are the niches to be focused on? You should know what are the niche areas for you, and what are the premium hottest sport in market, and what kind of market size you should target for. So these are also very important, knowing the market size of your target market. So here I comes towards the end of my presentation, and I'm opening this session for Q&A, an open house. You can send your Q&A right now through the chat window, or else you can send your questions on my email IDs sumnt@starkcsi.com. So this is my email ID. You can mail your questions anytime. And I really appreciate your time and patience to go through my slides and presentation. I look forward to interacting in future, and I look forward and getting your queries getting answered. And thanks a lot for listening to me today.